And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Spectators waiting their chance to see the president as he made his way towards the Trade Mart.
And therefore, as a free man, I take pride in the words, Ich bin ein Berliner.
This was a clip from John F. Kennedy's 1960 campaign ad, a revolutionary campaign because it was the first time the presidential debate was televised.
The Republican candidate, Vice President Richard M. Nixon, and the Democratic candidate, Senator John F. Kennedy.
This was one of the reasons why the Democrat was able to defeat his Republican opponent on 8 November 1960. Kennedy won 303 electoral votes and 49.72% of the popular vote. Nixon was narrowly defeated with 49.55%. October 1962. The world holds its breath as the United States and the Soviet Union stand on the brink of nuclear war. The Cuban Missile Crisis plunges the globe into a state of fear and uncertainty. On 14th of October 1962, pilot Richard Heiser flew over Cuba and made worrying discoveries with the help of a spy plane. These images clearly show the deployment of Soviet nuclear missiles on the Caribbean island. Kennedy's decision to impose a naval blockade sends a clear message to the Soviet Union. The United States will not tolerate the presence of nuclear weapons in Cuba.
It shall be the policy of this nation to regard any nuclear missile launched from Cuba against any nation in the Western Hemisphere as an attack by the Soviet Union on the United States, requiring a full retaliatory response upon the Soviet Union.
Kennedy's resolve is put to the test as the world holds its breath, waiting to see how the Soviet Union will respond to the American blockade. In a historic moment, Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev agrees to dismantle and remove the missiles from Cuba, signaling a de-escalation of the crisis. The Cuban Missile Crisis, a triumph of Kennedy's diplomacy. But this was by no means Kennedy's only political achievement. In 1961, he set himself the ambitious goal of landing a man on the moon before the end of the decade.
First, I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth.
This vision led to the Apollo program and ultimately culminated in the historic moon landing of Apollo 11 in 1969, which fulfilled Kennedy's challenge. Furthermore, it should not be forgotten that Kennedy's commitment to civil rights was unwavering. In 1963, Kennedy visited the city of Dallas in Texas as part of the upcoming election campaign. The red line shows the route of the convoy in which Kennedy was traveling. Kennedy's limousine entered Dealey Plaza at 12:30 p.m. Nellie Connolly turned and spoke to Kennedy. "Mr. President, they can't make you believe now that there are not some in Dallas who love and appreciate you, can they?" Kennedy replied, "No, they sure can't." These were his last words. The convoy made the planned left turn onto Elm Street, and while the limousine moves on, a sniper gets ready for action. A few moments later, 3 shots were fired, killing John F. Kennedy. Who was the killer? According to the official report of the Warren Commission, Lee Harvey Oswald fired the shots, and this is still the official version today. However, there are numerous theories that contradict this and see the involvement of state institutions. For example, the magic bullet theory, because if the Warren Commission is to be believed, the bullet must have had a rather unusual trajectory. Either way, the 35th president will go down in history as one of the more special ones, as one whose legacy continued to inspire generations. Thanks for watching
Outline History.
your channel for informative history.
Psst, here. Did you know that we always upload our videos with multilingual subtitles?